Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Thank you for joining us. We're glad you're here. I'm Steve.
And I'm Scott.
And together, we're Backyard Musings, the Science and Technology channel.
Yep, and we're talking about another a health concern. This is a nasty disease. I had a good friend that was in high school. She was just a beautiful girl, and a few years after high school, she was diagnosed with this. And from what I understand, it's just torn her up. So, just terrible.
New
So,
research suggests that multiple sclerosis may begin influencing patients' health far earlier than previously recognized. Multiple sclerosis is often recognized only after unmistakable neurological problems show up, such as changes in vision, balance, or sensation. But a new study from the University of British Columbia suggests the body may be signaling trouble much earlier in ways that look ordinary on their own and are easy to chalk up to everyday health issues. Would you like to know more?
reporting in JAMA, the Journal of American Medical Association, right? Is that what that
Yep.
stands for? Network Open. The research examined provincial health records from more than 12,000 people in British Columbia. Long before anyone could clearly point to MS, the group of people that eventually developed the disease were already using medical services more frequently. That shift began about 15 years before their first MS um, symptoms appear. That's what Michael J. Fox has, I think, right? Isn't it? Doesn't he have MS?
I thought it was Parkinson's, the shaking disease. Isn't that
Oh,
Parkinson's?
is that what he has? Okay.
Yeah, the
All right.
shaking. Muhammad
Okay.
Ali had it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Instead of focusing on a single dramatic event, the team traced a long arc of care seeking that included family doctors, specialists, emergency departments, and imaging services. The picture that emerges is less like a sudden onset and more like a slow buildup, with patients repeatedly returning for answers to symptoms that can be frustratingly hard to pin down.
Quote, MS can be difficult to recognize as many of the earliest signs, like fatigue, headache, pain, and mental health concerns, can be quite general and easily mistaken for other conditions. That's according to senior author Dr. Helen Tremlett, a professor of neurology at UBC's Faculty of Medicine and investigator at the, how you pronounce that?
Javad
Javad, oh boy,
Moafagian.
Moafagian Center for Brain Health. Okay. Quote again, our findings dramatically shift the timeline for when these early signs are thought to begin, potentially opening the door to opportunities for earlier detection and intervention.
To investigate this earlier window, researchers linked provincial clinical and administrative health data to examine physician visits during the 25 years before symptom onset. This is pretty cool going back and looking at records, you know. You can do that
Yeah,
with AI now.
right.
The starting point of symptoms was determined by a neurologist using detailed medical histories and clinical evaluations.
This is the first study to trace healthcare use so far back in patients' medical histories. Earlier research, and probably because of AI, like you said, right? Earlier research generally focused only on the 5 to 10 years before a person's first, uh, is that, holy cow, is that delimiting? Del,
Demyelinating.
demyelating. Whatever, what does that mean? Holy cow.
I don't know.
Event, such as vision
It
problems.
might be vision, have to do with vision.
Okay. Relying mainly on administrative data. That milestone typically occurs later than the neurologist identified onset of initial symptoms used in the study.
The findings revealed that when compared to the general population, people with MS had steady buildup of healthcare engagement over 15 years, with different types of doctor visits increasing at distinct points in time.
15 years before symptom onset, visits to the general practice physicians increased, as did visits to any physician for symptoms like fatigue, pain, dizziness, and mental health conditions, including anxiety and depression. And there's a lot of that going on right now.
Yeah. 12 years before, visits to a psychiatrist increased.
8 to 9 years before, visits to neurologists and ophthalmologists increased, which could relate to issues like blurry vision or eye pain.
3 to 5 years before, emergency medicine and radiology visits increased.
Wow. 1 year before physician visits across multiple specialties peaked, including neurology, emergency medicine, and radiology.
Quote, these patterns suggest that MS has a long and complex prodromal phase where something is happening beneath the surface but hasn't yet declared itself as MS, said Dr. Marta Ruiz Alguero, a postdoctoral fellow at UBC and the study's first author. Continuing her quote, we're only now starting to understand what these early warning signs are, with mental health related issues appearing to be among the earliest indicators.
The study builds on previous work by Dr. Tremlett and her team to characterize the early stages of MS, or prodromal phase, when subtle symptoms appear before the hallmark signs become recognizable. Prodromal periods are well established in the neurological disorders like Parkinson's disease, where mood changes, sleep disturbances, and constipation often arise years before the more familiar motor symptoms like tremors and stiffness. Wow.
While the researchers caution that the vast majority of people who experience general symptoms will not go on to develop MS, they say recognizing and characterizing the MS prodrome could one day help accelerate diagnosis and improve outcomes for patients. Cameron, stop.
Quote, by identifying these earlier red flags, we may eventually be able to intervene sooner, whether that's through monitoring, support, or preventative strategies. And that's according to Dr. Tremlett. Going on with the quote, it opens new avenues for research and into early biomarkers, lifestyle factors, and other potential triggers that may be at play during this previously overlooked phase of the disease, unquote. So it's a nasty disease. I mean, I'm talking 40, 45, 50 years ago, this girl was affected by this, and it was just tough to watch, really tough to watch. So I don't know. I hope they can get some kind of handle on this. So, but you'd think with all this information that we just talked about, that they would check this stuff right away when you come in. Hey, I got a headache, doc, or I'm tired all the time. Why don't they just go right to the worst case scenario and then work backwards instead of saying, just increase your ibuprofen intake.
It's probably patient load. They've got so many patients. Let's get them off from my court and into the next court. We'll start with blood work. We'll start with this. We'll start with that. Yeah, that's my only guess.
Yeah, I know. Thank goodness for good doctors, though. I mean, there are some out there. So we love those that are willing to go the extra mile. So,
all right, folks. Thanks for joining us. We'll catch you tomorrow.
Take care. We'll see you on the next one tomorrow.